In this lecture, we will talk about factoring. And right here, we are going to do is factoring trinomials. Means there are three terms. Before we do that, let's recall FOIL method. Recall if we have one binomial times another, so we can do is x times x, that's first product, and then outer product is 2 times x, which is 2x, inner product negative 7 times x, so that's negative 7x, and then the last product is negative 7 times 2, so which is negative 7 times 2. Okay? And then you combine two middle terms. Negative 7 plus positive 2, so you have negative 5. And negative 7 times 2, you have negative 14. And eventually you will end up with a trinomial. For the factoring is that given a trinomial like that, and we want to write this trinomial as a product of two binomials. Okay? So basically, if you can see from here, if you are given a trinomial like this, you want to break up this constant, negative 14, into two different numbers, and add together, you should have a negative 5. And here we can see negative 14 can be can be broken up into negative 7 plus 2. Negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. So then this trinomial can be written as x minus 7 times x plus 2. Okay? So this basically gives us a trinomial. We want to break up the constant into two numbers. And then those two numbers added together should be equal to the coefficient of x. Now, with this thing in our mind, we want to factor x squared minus 3x minus 10. We know negative 10 can be broken up into negative 5 times 2, because 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. And you add together negative 5 plus 2, you have a negative 3. So this tells us that this trinomial can be written as x minus 5 times x plus 2, right here. So that's based on the FOIL method, we can factor this trinomial into the product of two binomials. Now try yourself. X squared minus 4x minus 21. The answer is written right here. We want to break up negative 21 into two numbers. Add together should be equal to negative 4, not positive 4. So you see 3 times 7 is 21, and if we put negative in front of 7, then 7 plus positive 3, you have a negative 4. So it should be negative 7, positive 3. Okay? So do yourself. Now, if you are given x squared plus 15x plus 56, how are we going to do that? You do is like you break up 56 into two numbers. You know 7 times 8 is 56. Then you add 7 plus 8, you have a positive 15. Okay? So then we can write is x plus 7 and then x plus 8. Okay, x plus 8. Now look at this one. Try yourself. This one is x squared plus x minus 12. You want to break up 12 negative into two numbers. Add together is positive 1. So we know 3 times 4 is 12. If you give to negative sign to the negative 3, to the 3, you have a negative 3. So negative 3 plus 4, then you have a positive 1. Then here it has to be negative 3, positive 4. Okay, think about this one yourself. Right here for this example and the example here, you have a notice that the coefficient right here in front of x squared is 1. Alright? Is 1. Here is also 1. But right here the coefficient of x squared is no longer 1. And here is 18. And then here is 3. Here is 6. How are we going to deal with that? You know, previously we need to break up constant into two numbers. 2 times negative 5, you have a negative 10. Now we also need to break up 18 into two numbers. Okay? If you break up 18 into 3 times 6, it's going to be 18. If you break up in this way, you let 3 times negative 5 gives you negative 15. Okay? And then 2 times 6 gives you 12. You add those two, 12 plus negative 15 is negative 3. You see? It's negative 3. So if you break up 18 into this way, using 3 times 5, negative 5, 2 times 6, add together, if you get this one, negative 3, then you can write the final answer as 3x plus 2 times 6x minus 5, right here. Okay, that's the way to do it. Now, look at this one. Factor. Factor 3a squared minus 5a minus 2. Okay? So again, you need to break up negative 2 into 1, 2. 1 times 2 is 2. And you will decide where the negative sign should go. And then 3 can be broken up into 1 and 3, because 1 times 3 gives you 3. That's the only way you can do. Okay. Now, if you give negative sign to negative 2 here, 1 times negative 2 is negative 2, and then 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 1 times 1 is 1. You add together is negative 5. So then you know this is the correct way to break up 3 and negative 2. Okay? So the answer can be written as 3a plus 1 times 1 times a minus 2. 1 times a is just a, so it's a minus 2. And that's the answer for this one. How to do this one? Try yourself. Okay? You need to break up negative 5 into two numbers. Here you want to give negative sign to 5. Think about it, why? Okay? You also want to break up 6 into 2 times 3 or 3 times 2. Think about it, where 3 you should put. Okay? I think you should put 3 here, because 3 times negative 5 gives you negative 15. 2 times 1 gives you positive 2. Okay? So negative 15 plus positive 2 together, you have a negative 13. Then you should have like 2y minus 5, and then 3y plus 1 right here. That's the final answer. So finish this one yourself. Okay? This one is harder. You see the coefficients in front of y squared, a squared, x squares are no longer 1. Okay? So do some examples like this from the book, and probably you will get this one. Okay? I will see you in next lecture.